Alright, so I had a wardrobe change because here in Florida, South Florida to be more precise, very humid. It did rain I think earlier this morning, and I already set up the Chromebook. Let me turn on this TV, which I customized with some Star Wars lore. And it's I think it's oh no, see, the humidity causes the remote not to work. Yep. That means I gotta go manually over here. And hopefully it's already set up on the HDMI. Oh, manually didn't work. Holy cow. And the remote, it flashes like when nope, the remote's not working. Let me put on some rice. Anywho, yeah, so my mom's, bless her, because, I still gotta either find a social worker, hope recall those lawyers I called a couple days ago about my SSI, and there's just a lot on my list because employment has been tough. I tried every place that's within walking distance, and it hasn't been happening. I've talked to all managers and everything. Anywho, I found these. Normally, I would have handed it into like the anchor location from where I found them, like at the nearest place where I found them, or knocked on the door of the neighbor, But since they matched the purse my old lady gave me, in other words, it's the same brand. So if these belong to you, just let me know where you believe you lost them and the RX in the comments below, and I will be more than happy to return them. They were on the ground, so that's how I find a lot of stuff. And normally I do not, I try to return or whatever, but shite, when you poor, you don't say no if someone's trying to hand you $1, okay? You know what I'm saying? Especially nowadays, it's literally what the executive branch has been saying ever since that one politician, the trickle down economy. So in other words, they want there to be all ultra wealthy, super rich people, like the top 1%, and they just want their wealth to trickle down to the people below. But it doesn't work, because let's say, for instance, I get a job, right? Minimum wage in about a month's time is gonna go up to $13 per hour. That ain't enough to sustain. That doesn't even cover. That's about the whole price per rent for a 1-bedroom apartment if I worked full time. So now imagine, I'd have to work 2 jobs full time just to pay rent and to be able to put food on the table and pay for a bigger apartment since I have a child. They need their own bedroom. So my best bet is to get education. Now here's the problem, because this is a car-centric area. If I need either, the education is actually to my benefit that I take the bus, and I'll tell you why. When you in college or or university or technical school, you're gonna need time to read and to go into them books, and more than likely nowadays everybody uses a computer to compose any type of literature. And when you're on the bus, those bus rides take so long that it's actually beneficial as long as you don't get like what's that called, like that type of disorientation when you're moving or whatever, when like some people cannot read in a moving vehicle, whatever that's called. As long as you don't suffer from that, it's beneficial for you to take a bus if you're trying to do an academic course that you really need to spend time in the books, because that's how you get a 4.0 GPA, at least for me personally. There's some people that don't really need to do much, and they can maintain a 4.0. But for me to get a 4.0, I need to hit the books, read everything that's assigned, because the teacher, if they assign it, that means that they're going to, eventually ask you about it later. And if you read it, more than likely, 9 out of 10 times, you're going to answer correctly. Okay? So it's all about that. You just got to put in time and effort. And of course, just like you have your muscle memory, your brain, you have to exercise it, because your brain has a memory also. For me, when I'm doing academic studies, it's better if I do it while I'm not under the influence of any illicit substance, which I don't really do anymore, except for my medications. Now I have to see, when I did have a 4.0, I did use medication for ADHD, but I get that right now anyways, and that's only, it's actually, I actually can sit down and like the last time I've used it and I realized the benefits for it, the best benefits, because I mean it also helps out just in normal, is when I help my daughter with her homework. Instead of doing one question and then getting up and then leaving and walking around the house, which is how I normally am, it's hard for me to sit down and watch a TV show unless it's like really great. I'll sit down with her and I'll do the whole homework. I won't get up. I'll just do it one question at a time, LISTEN, whether it be 30 minutes or an hour. That's how that medication helps me. Some people, I guess, because it's classified as a stimulant, so it's in the same class as caffeine, nicotine, cocaine, and I don't know whether and like methamphetamine. It's basically amphetamine rocks. People don't understand how it affects different people differently, because the brain is super complicated, and I don't have an MD, but I can tell just from experience that when you take this particular medication, perhaps it might help me wake up, but it's like almost like drinking coffee. But really what it helps me most is to sit down and LISTEN to something that otherwise I would really not much, like I would look at it and I'd be like, oh, okay, next, and I would just swipe up. It helps me to just sit and actually like focus on something that maybe I'm not that interested in, or I would have to break up into sections. But it's still good if you're going to be doing studies. Every hour, try to take like a 10-minute break, give or take. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 15 minutes, just to get up, stretch, take your eyes off the screen. If you're using a computer, just to get the blood flowing, maybe do a little bit of stretch, a couple squats, or just walk around the desk. Every hour you should take a little break, drink some water, whatever. And also a good diet and rest is important. It's almost like bodybuilding, to be honest, going to school. Diet is important because your brain, even though this is common knowledge, 2% of your mass consumes 20% of the energy, which you get your energy through calories, and the calories come from either lipids, proteins, or carbohydrates. I believe it's 9, 4, and 4 grams respectively, just about, of calories. So, and a good diet actually consists of like 50-60% carbs, in my opinion, 30-40% like protein, and then like 10-20% fat. I know I went over 100, but you adjust the numbers. Carbohydrates, if they're whole grains or anything that's whole grain or minimally processed, they're actually going to be good carbs, because they're not going to spike your blood sugar. Instead of getting like a quick rush of energy, you actually get your energy is like elevated, and it stays like it's not like, it doesn't go up exponentially and then come right down and then crash. And that's why some people need coffee like around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Instead, it goes up gradually, it stays like that, and then until the next time for you. And it's actually good in your diet. Instead of eating just 3 meals or 2 meals a day, it's good to eat like 3 like 3/4 or half size the meals that you normally would eat, and then 3 snacks, which can be like a fruit with like some water or juice or whatever. If you drink a lot of juice and you think you're getting health benefits, it does have a lot of sugar, which is not bad if you're going to use it. If you're when I mean use it, I mean by like either doing physical exercise or mental exercise. Mental exercise is what I just said: academics, reading, going to school. And let me go down with the rest of this thing. I don't even know why I recorded this. Oh, so I can make the shout out. So leave the comment below if the what I showed belong to you, with the where you think location and prescription, and then I'll be more than happy to return. We can meet at the local law enforcement agency. So that, because you know, it's even though I'm on the screen and you see me, it's better to be safe. Okay, thank you. Ciao. If you made it to this point, you are awesome. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching till now. I was able to get the TV on. I just had to unplug it and then press the button again. Love you, Mariah.